So, content warning in advance. I had to do this a few times to get it right, but basically there are things that are graphical in nature because of the custom content that I feel did well from a technical and storytelling and gameplay standpoint. A lot of interesting things that were done with a certain mystery, and any events that apply, but future Jordan will be taking care of that. The things you see are not meant to be done by human beings, and obviously the villains are doing it. Don't do it! You the viewer should not be doing these things at home. Again, nothing explicit, but there are mentions of it as it relates to the story, and I feel that is informational enough to let you know that this is all in-game stuff that, you know, is not great for human beings. So, add the World of War character exclusive custom character, and let's go. Again, I just feel that's important because EDSA is important on this platform, so there are things that will be implied if future Jordan does the censoring right. As I see strength, dexterity, light, knowledge, second encounter, and second mystery, maybe? But with this custom character as well, they're paired with the mystery, and then I'm going to be playing another mystery which I think has a crash somewhere, and I didn't actually fix it as we have Book of Gore, so I should be pretty good. We do start with Suicidal, but we have the Straight Razor to help us out. But preferably speaking, I want to take the mystery in question last, so that should give future Jordan more than enough time to figure out how to get things done before, you know, future Jordan listens in and suddenly you know, sensors need to be put up, just to be completely safe. Again, if you play the mod yourself, or you play the custom mystery yourself, as you see 2 of them on screen, yeah, and we're not going to reroll because we're going to try to figure out the puzzle that is getting Painting, Metamorphosis, and Teacher, right? And Sailors and Arms are going to be replaced by the 2 mysteries in question. However, with these 2, yeah, we need to take these 3 mysteries first. I don't want to take Painting first, we might have to, though. So just a quick little review, because it's probably going to be part of a special as well, since I am likely going to be streaming something at the time of this video, or maybe not, it might depend. Strength 2, Dexterity 3 makes me really sad, although I'm the one playing it on Harbinger. The Straight Razor is a perception weapon, but perception is not the greatest stat. Part of that is the lighthouse checks, part of it is it provides no other benefit in battle aside from scaling, which is important. And for the fire weapon action, but again, that all fits into this little, not bubble, but genre of a category of weapons that aren't as great. Now, knowledge and charisma are as helpful, so, and I've personally made a custom character that does have this stat spread, so I should be somewhat familiar, but at the same time, it hurts. Now, that being said, the character I made has 2 strength, 2 dexterity, as opposed to 2 strength, 3 dexterity. So again, I should be well aware of what a character with this stat spread is capable of. The flip side of that is that custom character has 2 good perks, and this character starts with Suicidal. And a weapon, but the weapon is not, you know, really the greatest. So 90 speed is actually average, but for Harbinger's sake, it's not the best. I can't prep attack immediately. That is the most important point. Although that is a bit powerful on its own, unless you're a 3 damage weapon. Again, this all has some give and take. And then we have stat checks, which complete RNG. So I'm gonna try to play to this character's strengths, but if I roll an 11 or 12 on knowledge, charisma, or perception, I just have to shrug and just take it to the face. So, and yeah, one more little teaser. I might put timestamps so that if you just want to jump to the mystery, so be it. But there is something in getting to the journey to the mystery is important too. Yeah, so 2 strength for bracing does not really allow for much, so we might just have to eat this in the face. Thankfully, I can perfectly fit 5 actions, but 6 Doom is quite a lot, and you can't run from this, so again, I'm shrugging real life. Hopefully I hit this all 95% 3 times. You know, not the lowest odds, but I could still run to a mansion encounter because that was a general/Anth encounter. Now, we do have to leave Amy behind. It would be nice. Can't. In fact, I might have wanted to take Schoolyard instead, knowing this character's charisma, not for ally attack, but more for stat increases. But hey, we'll find out. So again, another encounter that's not as great here, but gotta do what I can. I'm willing to roll 280% because this first attack is guaranteed. So 64% chance to only take 2 all damage. Works out. And away we go. But did I say I was going to do a preview and never say anything? The preview is that I will be narrating over the mysteries in question. So just in case you, the viewer at home, as I overheal on reason for some reason, for you, the viewer at home, yeah, if you're not going to be playing these 2 custom mysteries, then let me show you. Again, I feel like they are very... Obviously, I do a little test run. I think they do a very good job of both mysteries, because there's another mystery... This character has a... the person who made this character, let me say it straight. The person who made this character also made the mystery that I have to, run around and censor things just to be really safe. Again, nothing explicit, but there are descriptions that are said, which, again, the viewers should not repeat at home, because it is all part of a fictional story that is being made. I feel, again, EDSA reasons I'm saying all of this as I visit the police station. But then, so the person who made this character made that mystery, and then someone made another mystery that I will be playing about making a film. Am I going to... I don't know this character's events at all, so I'm just going to take a chance and take a heal 3 reason for 5 doom, which is actually not great, because I would have liked to use the monument before that, didn't really get the chance to. That's not the character or the creator's fault, that's my fault, really. But I will take this wine, because that's reason healing, as long as my strength doesn't go to 1. For those who don't know, when you drink the wine bottle, all your stats drop by 1, because you get an effect that lasts till the end of your mystery. Also, unfortunately, I need to... So the reason why I'm also taking the mysteries last, on top of just, playtime funsies, in terms of making the game harder for myself, is that leveling up with this character to get a perk for the mystery that is pretty much paired with this character. I mean, I wouldn't say it's paired, but this character does have an advantage in that mystery because they have a perk, aside from Kyrie, I think, who has a perk that can be used in that mystery for good. Although, funny enough, I think it's actually not ending A, so... Anywho. Can I do this? I can. I could just handcuff this as well. What am I in? Teacher? I'm not going to handcuff teacher. I also need to get another sensor, or my OBS sensor ready, so I can do that before editing, but I could just do this now so I don't take stamina damage. Is it worth it? I'm rolling my eyes up toward my head brain and thinking about this for a moment, because I also have... No, it's Metamorphosis. I thought I had, like, another human boss. I don't. So let's just handcuff this now, and maybe I regret it later, because actually, one of the bosses of the custom mysteries is a human enemy, but I don't feel like... maybe I equip the box cutter instead. I think that's going to be the play. Meanwhile, here we are, trying not to take extra damage. If I hit this, we should be hunky-dory. In fact, we get bonus damage, so I'm going to throw the sensor up preemptively. And let's get into the fight. Now, unfortunately, this school is not going to be friendly towards me because I cannot brace comfortably into a teacher attack. So what's going to happen is I just pretty much eat this badly bleeding to the face if I get it. Pretty sure that's a bug. We also eat 6 doom in total. Unless I wanted to throw something, there's badly bleeding, and then we get out. So, as I take the sensor off... Yeah, thank goodness we're in Metamorphosis, but at the same time we're entering Metamorphosis soon. Funny enough, I'm actually going to take this. I should have drank the wine bottle, but we'll save it for after the thingy. So funny enough, I want to take the quote-unquote, not controversial, the graphic mystery first, so I can at least get through that, and then I'll figure out what I want to do. The auteur mystery can wait. Me, however, I'm thinking right now, because I have badly bleeding. That's minor, right? The minor injury? M-I-N-O-R space? Yes, it is. But I would rather still go to the doctor's office and do a twofer here. I think I can get rid of this, right? Lose 3 stamina? Yeah, I probably should. I actually kind of need that reason. A bit late now, but we do have the discharge summary that I can discard for experience and level up. And I think we want arcane symbols. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, so we're gonna go full RNG. My Weird Collection and Ghost Collection, pretty much both RNG. They're not bad perks. They just have a chance to not be good perks either. 7 knowledge, 7 charisma. I would rather take the charisma, but you know what? Why would I ever roll right there? So let's monument quickly. We switched to Seaside. I don't know why I set the police station to the hospital. I did though, so now we have to go. And we will see what happens. 7 charisma. Gosh dang it. That was a 7+1 modifier, but still. That made me really sad. Will I survive this, by the way? Even if I fight this, probably. Now, I would have liked to one-shot this encounter. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So I am taking 2 reasons to the face. I do have Book of Gore, and both custom mysteries are in town. I think they're... Not that you can really do anything different, but... You get what I mean. I have the chance to get rid of injuries if and when they appear. And I have the funds, unless they're... if they're major. But if they're minor, I can go visit the... school nurse. I had to think. Why do stats matter? Why do stats matter? I'm gonna visit the History Club just to see what I can get. For a reason to get rid of that enemy. That boss, I mean. Probably. I can combo Book of Gore into Thread of Fate. So you know what? I'm gonna grab this just to be safe. Quote-unquote safe. I could just end up dying to Doom later, but that's why this might be a 2-part series-ish. Because I may be doing a thing. I should be sleeping right now, but hey. And yeah, let's... Actually, that's something else. I thought this... At first, never mind, let's just hold our breath and search the room, because that's a strength check. I don't know why I would take that strength check, but... I forgot it was. I did that exact same action when I was doing a thing, and yeah, I might have to box cutter now. Yeah, I have to box cutter now, don't I? I'm not gonna take the risk. I would like to not use Book of Gore if possible. Also, my face is itchy, so that's why my voice might have sounded different, because I'm scratching my face. Anywho, we can't really brace into anything worthwhile, so we are just gonna do this. I think. Yes, we are. So we're just going to take this in the face. Hopefully I don't die because we do have Suicidal. It thankfully did not proc. I just remembered that as I said it. And can I hit this 80%? Otherwise I should Book of Gore just to be safe. I guess I might as well. Okay, good. Not that it would have saved me, because if I proc Suicidal, I would have died there actually. So... Holy Glyphs, 2 reason for every item, and I don't have a lot of items, and I lost Bat, so never mind. Rip Wine Bottle. Not that I didn't even use it yet anyway, and Box Cutter is now broken, so... Yeah, I need a lot of stamina from somewhere, but we can go into, Traumatizing Tale of Televised Torture, and I think that's the only word I'm willing to say, because as I narrate through this, I'm gonna self-censor myself anyway. For the past week, the usual time slot for after-school cartoons on cable have been hijacked by an unknown signal. The contents of the rogue broadcast has parents all across Shiokawa in a panic. An obese man with a mask resembling a Japanese I need to figure out how to pronounce that. Always appears on screen, referring to himself by the name. And with every broadcast comes a new quote-unquote guest, ellipses. A victim who he proceeds to future Jordan, and then finally oof, all on camera. The police, of course, are already involved, but the untraceability of the signal and the sheer scale of the kidnappings leave them flummoxed. Normally, the character wouldn't take on a case like this. It's entirely too mundane, not to mention twisted. But the inscrutable methods by which this carries out his crimes leaves little doubt that is a supernatural angle to this entire horror show. I just realized that saying the exact phrase might trigger something, so I think I might just... Hopefully future Jordan censors that as well, and if not, well, we're gonna find out. We're just... you know, he's now just coming home from school, which means one of the broadcasts is about to start. I did it again. You really, really don't want to see what this psycho has in store for today, but for the sake of the investigation, he forces himself to switch on the TV through the apartments. with the BGM in the background, scratching and clawing at my face. Good evening, kids, it's your best friend. The masked psycho delivers his disquietly cheery greeting before the morbid festivities start. Again, I'm just being completely safe with self-censoring myself. Life to entertain. His victim is a person in a uniform from a different school than the one that he goes to. Not that it stays on her for long. He forces the bottle down his throat and tries to find something useful in the barbaric display. I forgot which is which, so we're just gonna guess. Hopefully I don't die to stamina. We did pass, and we do get a thing. The victim's uniform was from Hanamizaki, a village school outside of Shiokawa proper. Gain experience per investigation, question mark? Yeah, he actually recognized the uniform now crumpled on the floor, as I said. A small school from outside the Shiokawa proper. It's one of those village schools where teenagers and kids are taught by the same teachers. Well, we're getting sick. That was utterly abhorrent. The show apparently went on for a good 15 minutes or so before the feed was cut. No doubt the police are attempting to trace the source of the signal, to little success. The main character, however, has his own methods. The red... I can't pronounce that word for some reason, I'm sorry. Mask was not some Halloween store bargain. It serves a ritualistic purpose, one perhaps a friend can elucidate. So away we go. I need to heal my stamina, actually. That's why we have Book of Gore. Hide in the crowd. Yep, and that's why we have Book of Gore. Gosh dang it. Exposed ribs, that's fine, that's just max stamina, right? That's 2 max stamina, but hey. I don't want to rest yet if possible. Do I have fetid fumes? I don't. So I should kind of rest once here just to be safe. And we'll continue on. The owner of the occult store, in all caps, tells him that the mask wasn't purchased from their shop, but they have a decent idea from where it was purchased. A dealer of illicit goods who makes their haunt at a village outside of Shiokawa. Legal wares and ritual masks, an odd combination, but not unheard of, we suppose. It'll have to wait until after a good night's sleep back in the apartments, however. As the Venetian society lowers my stamina some more. Why would you do this? Another day of school is over, which means another one of the depraved episodes is about to start. Time to see what fresh pain awaits Shiokawa's viewers today, and if anything can be gleaned. Anything useful can be gleaned from it. Just hope that our stomachs can hold out for the duration. A lot of apartment investigations, thankfully, for the sake of threat level. But anywho, I'm not going to do the thing I was going to do, so it should be fine. Good evening, kids. It's your best friend, Villain. He calls out his usual greeting, sounding even more enthusiastic than yesterday. The person on the filthy mattress squirms and struggles against his bindings, his screams and pleas for help muffled against the gag. Well, we can try. We can lose reason for it, but the person's wrists are expertly bound with rough hempen rope. It's clear that the goal behind it was to keep his wrists absolutely secure, rather than allow him any sort of comfort. Bruises form on his flesh as he rides against them, and I get a lot of experience from my trouble. Well, losing one reason, but hey. Yeah, we want Arcane Grass. I should heal stamina here, so I'm gonna do that. I would like to brace into better attacks, but I don't know. There's absolutely no time to waste, though, as distasteful as it is. The character decides to reach out to one of his Yakuza contacts for help. She'll know how to get in touch with the person who sold that villain his mask. If she doesn't, well, fresh out of Leeds, I guess. So into the field we go. Hope you appreciate how much of a risk I am taking by meeting you like this. The Yakuza contact, Kimiko, greets him briskly. I can't pronounce words. Self-proclaimed writer, by the way. Her eyes narrowed into a sub-zero glare. Get the feeling that he won't be able to call in another fable like this for a while. Why is the Yakuza involved in this? Of course the Yakuza is involved. The villain, that fool, didn't start out targeting school kids first. You realize his first few victims were, you know, the politicians will look up and shout, "Save us!" under Yakuza protection. Stuff like this makes the boxes look weak. Kimiko shifts her posture, tense and annoyed both at the character and the situation at large. Well, shouldn't they? I don't have Yakuza cards, so shouldn't they welcome all the help they can get? They should, but they don't. Not from outsiders, Kimiko shrugs. Especially not from outsiders contracted by a lowly chinpita like me, so kindly don't rat me out, yeah? And I think there aren't much else to say, but we'll go over it. What about the occult dealer? No idea what his name is, just calls himself Mr. Fabulous, capital F. He's a rat among rats, though, but he'll cave as long as you wave either a few bills or, you know, a knife in front of his face. Just don't let him intimidate you and show him you mean business. Usual stuff. Thank you. Bye. Kimiko shakes her head. I won't be showing you anywhere, just giving you directions. I can't be seen with you, not by Mr. Fabulous, nor by anyone who frequents his establishment. Already sticking her neck out just by meeting us. Come, we urge Kimiko. Don't know this guy and I could use the backup in case things go pear-shaped. Kimiko vehemently denies the request. Already done more for you than I should. Ain't no way. I refuse to be that naive. Yesterday's victim was from Hanamizaki. Kimiko squirms a little at the truth of his words, knowing that there's more she could do for the village she was raised in. Look, I still can't be seen with you, but take this. Taketh this. She hands him a wad of cash. Keep this in the back pocket in case that, a guy tries to haggle. Thanks. Question mark? Kimiko shakes her head and ardently refuses the gratitude. I should be thanking you for trying to keep the kids safe, I mean. She looks away and shifts uncomfortably back and forth, seeming uncharacteristically vulnerable right now. So, yeah. Go catch him, will ya? He gives his word that he'll do so before he sets off to the next lead. Doom increases, but we get 2 funds for reasons. He wishes Kimiko could come with him, but her directions at least are clear, even in these winding, mist-shrouded streets. Creepy villages are one thing, but creepy villages with a Yakuza presence are a different animal entirely. Decorum demands that the residents treat him with politeness, but it's clear they expect him not to stay long. Best to quicken the pace. Around this village that we're in pain for. Well, hey. Hello there. I don't have the stamina to spare, so I could threat of fate this guy. I think I'm instead going to run. He takes a deep breath and calms himself. The character has to act cool in front of this illicit dealer. Jeff, desperation is easily taken advantage of, and he knows this crowd. They'll squeeze every last coin out of him and then kick him to the curb. Innocent people be dimmed. And away we go. Hey, vampire money. I've not seen you before here, little one. The masked man behind the counter immediately says as he enters, who referred you? Don't have to, I could just do this. But for the sake of doing things, hey. Charisma check. Curious? Have I perhaps garnered some notoriety? His attention once more focuses on the character. Welcome then, my name is Mr. Fabulous, but I'm sure you already know that. Welcome to my humble shop, Mr. Fabulous says, extending the length of this video, his voice slick with slimy affability. I stock a variety of weird and wonderful things, curses, spells, and ritual materials all. Have you something in particular you're searching for? Yeah. A fabulous, capital F. I can see you're a connoisseur of the occult arts. Well, pockets are lighter, but the character's power grows. Let's advance the mystery. You're asking me to reveal the identity of a client I may or may not have had, to whom I may or may not have sold a I'm running out of breath. I may or may not have stalked at one point. You ask this of moi, a man of staunch and unshakable principles. Of course, occult paraphernalia, I can pronounce that word, isn't the only thing in stock. Information and pronunciation is a product too, a product with the fairest of prices. He tilts his head expectantly. My unshakable principles are an entirely separate issue, aren't they, little one? I don't have the funds for this, so really gonna risk being implicated as an accessory to the oofs? With the 1 roll on charisma, this is my stats on that. The masked man is silent for a beat as he mulls over the risk to reward ratio. I know a bad deal when I smell one. And this man started to stink the moment he graduated from, people who were just people, he sighs. Frustrated with the fix he's found himself in. Fine, let's bury him. The dealer agrees to help me and the character. He phones someone, presumably the villain, and informs them that a fresh batch of ritual materials just shipped in. He haggles and puts the squeeze on the customer to make it convincing, then shows the character to the meeting spot where he'll be staking out. Time to nail the guy. Or will we? The character watches the dealer meet with the customer. It's not the villain. It's suspected as much, of course. There's no way this entire operation was a one-man shit. The character won't be cutting the head off the snake tonight, but he'll at least be able to follow the tail back to the den. As he pushes himself to his feet in order to tail his target, he feels his back press against something large and hulking. Something that wasn't there before. He quickly turns, elbows him, and, with a 1 strength roll, it doesn't actually cost a lot. His elbow connects with a solid thud, dazing his assaulter for a moment. However, his compromised position combined with his bulk allows him to burp and quickly recover and overpower the character. So it doesn't matter. A wooden monkey mask and the crazed eyes behind it are the last thing he sees before he feels a needle. And the world goes black. Good evening, kids! That now damningly familiar phrase greets our ears as consciousness slowly returns to the character, except this time, the words aren't being filtered through the speakers of our CRT. Oh, hope to goodness gracious and the old gods, it's only a nightmare. The character groans as his body gradually begins to respond against his will. After hearing, smell, and taste are the next senses that he regains, and wherever he is, it's absolutely rank. The iron scent of blood mixed with the coppery aftertaste of whatever he was drugged with, mixed with the miscellaneous rot that easily dominates every other scent. The character would probably have hurled by now if his body was fully functioning. And take a look at our sleeping beauty, just now beginning to stir awake their fell curse broken by true love's... His sense of touch returns to him, and he can instantly feel, a lot of yicky stuff. He shifts uncomfortably and winces at the sheets beneath his back, stiff and crusty with a lot of stuff. I should use a different voice because, don't worry, sweetheart, take your time. I want you to be fully awake and lucid for this. As he forces his eyes open, fuzzy light floods into them, aggravating the ache in his woozy head. Nonetheless, he keeps them open, allowing his eyes to adjust and willing himself to stay awake and alive. There we go, that's it. Look at those pretty eyes, Shiokawa, that delicate face, that adorable look of confusion and fright etched upon it. The character looks down at his body and the filthy mattress it lies upon, stained with the blood and tears of so many other victims. He examines the bruises, scrapes, and sweat on their own skin. Close! Prime time, that's where you are, the man's voice answers with a hearty chuckle. The character doesn't want to look in that direction, so he remains staring down at his legs. You're a big fan of mine, aren't you, Redacted? Went looking for me and everything. Well, here you are, on the set of your favorite family game show. Is it everything you imagined? I hate to burst your bubble, dear fan, but you won't be hogging all the spotlight this evening, because today's show is a double feature. This adorable kitten came sniffing around for you after you didn't come back from your little stakeout. Isn't that just the sweetest thing you've ever heard? Another peal of harsh laughter erupts from behind his mask as Kimiko rides against her binding. She's got nothing to do with this. Correction! The man immediately snaps. She had nothing to do with this, but it seems she lusts for fame and fortune just as much as you do, and now she'll get it. In the way girls her age always do. Despite the fierce defiance in her eyes, Kimiko's cheeks are wet with tears and her body is just as bruised, filthy, and messed up as the main characters. And guess what? I made sure the TV station can't cut us off anymore. A lovely tryst is going to be feature-length for Shiokawa's viewing pleasure. Ooh, oh, that felt bad for me to do. If only I could see all the perverted people doing stuff. And a shiver, and it's creepy. The red light flashes indicating the camera is currently recording. It's a fine make but commercial grade, and with none of the equipment news studios would use. Besides, how in the world is he still broadcasting live over cable with just this little thing? Scrawled in stuff all over the walls and floors are a plethora of arcane sigils, some more intricate than others. The villain took special care in rendering these occult signs, and I don't have that clue because, oops, failed. There's no time to be pondering over ritualistic scrawlings. Clearly there's more to this than some sicko's own satisfaction, but right now, the character's at said sicko's mercy. What is he planning? The monkey lumbers over to his direction, causing him to gasp and attempt to scramble away, only for his back to hit the wall. He stops at the edge of the bed, staring down at the character, heavy, heaving, labored breaths that are muffled inside his wooden mask. What do you want from me? The huge man's voice lowers to an unreadable monotone, a far cry from the exuberant spectacle he had thus far been keeping up. Listen, kid, I'm bored with the whole manic showman bit now, so I'm just gonna tell you what you're going to do for me, and you're gonna do it because you will know what'll happen if you don't. The monkey clasps his hand around the character's wrist in an iron grip, dragging him off the filthy bed. He tries his best as he can to pry the monkey's fingers off of him, but the sedative keeps his muscles weak and head swimming. There you go, sweetheart, up and at 'em, the man mockingly coos as he leads the character by the wrist across the room. See, kid, if you were just any old guest of mine, your hands would be bound and I'd be making you be in pain right now. But that's not the case, is it? No, no, no. I've gone and left your hands free. Silly me, right? You've already thought about how you can use this little slip-up of mine to fight back or escape. But what's actually going to happen is that you're going to take this lovely shard of glass. The monkey places a sharp, jagged piece of shattered glass in the character's palm and curls his fingers tightly around it. He winces from the pain as it digs into his flesh. And you're going to stab your friend, and and that's going to be really dark, and it's going to be messy. And let's just attack the boss instead. And fail. But hey, the monkey had been amply prepared for this possibility. As mentioned earlier, the character swings the glass shard for his jugular, but he catches the character's arm and flings him to the floor, sending him sprawling into the blood and filth. As the character scrambles to his feet, he sees the monkey retrieving a truncheon from his table of tools as we prepare to battle. Fine then, the monkey growls. I'll just beat you. Whoa! Man, Future Jordan has a lot of work to do. Anywho, welcome to Prime Time, where we're fighting a 3-all damage enemy that has 36 HP. Thank goodness I have Book of Gore, but I just want to cast Dart of Fate instead. That costs 6 Doom, but hey, I live. So with that spell, Video killed the Radio Star. The monkey's hulking form succumbs to the spell as he crumples to the floor, twitching and sputtering with every life-laden breath that leaves his hideous body. The mask remains frozen in its serene smile, staring up the filthy, damaged ceiling. The character lets out a primal scream of terror and rage before picking up the monkey's truncheon and, a punishment and some semblance of whatever's left of justice. And once the mask is nothing but splinters, the harsh cracks of the truncheon's impacts change to a different sound as, it's graphic. Kimiko's voice calling out to the character is finally what snaps him out of it. The red flash of the video camera confirms that the whole thing was broadcast to all of Shiokawa, ? The both of them leave it running as the two of them make their way upstairs, and they're greeted by a vast forest stretching before them, surrounding an isolated mountainside cabin. Lost and with no better options, the two of them follow a beaten path that no doubt saw extensive use from the villain's own purposes. The two of them lean upon one another, battered and haunted by all that transpired. And eventually, as night falls, they see the distant city lights of Shiokawa peeking beneath the trees. I almost did something weird. Between the trees. At that moment, the both of them knew they were going to survive this, and they collapsed to their knees, holding one another in a tight embrace as they weep into each other's arms. That's ending B, by the way. The character's only regret is that he didn't make it much more painful for for that evil villain. Yeah, that was ending B by... I got cut off by the mic because I did my own thing, but anywho. We get to level up at least, and we'll see if we can even do this last mystery as we level up again. Signed contract, but not much to it, so instead we're going to do this. I'm thinking of, as I had to mute myself for a second, of whether or not I should increase... completely forgot. I'm just going to increase charisma for now. And if I regret it, I regret it. No bat, right? Yeah, so just pain. As we go into the amateur acting of an action auteur. Not amateur, that's spelled on purpose. An action film production begins in Shiokawa. As much as this character is tired of being on a show, they vaguely recognize some of the faces, though not quite the names attached to the project. But apparently there's a single filmmaker using the name Kokoro-san, running the whole show. Director, screenwriter, and the leading actor all in one person. Never heard of them, the character thinks. Why would a production company decide to move all the way to Shiokawa instead of shooting at any of the much better equipped studios in Tokyo? Surely not even Hollywood accounting could justify moving personnel and equipment all the way to a relatively remote location, and the production timing coincides with the odd incidents plaguing the town. Browsing the latest issue of Shiokawa I can't pronounce that. Chronicles, the character stumbles upon an ad. The production is looking for extras, no previous experience required. Rates are reasonable, catering provided. It's a great opportunity for him to investigate further. Local agency, subcontracted by the company, confirms the date. The character is to report at their office in the morning for a full day of shooting. As we get a screenplay, follow the script. -2 luck, -2 reason, pain. The Yakuza hideout day. It was a dark and stormy day too. The cops finally the last that we got to dawn the champagne. When the character arrives, there are already many other townsfolk present, excited, no doubt lured by the opportunity to be involved in a real movie. Agency reps hand out schedules and screenplays for each scene while the production team is hauling the equipment. The character glances cursorily at his copy of the screenplay. It seems to be a buddy cop movie, very popular genre overseas. Zoom in, wipe 2, look at this art, look at that gun! But look at me investigate. Yeah, I think, oh, that's stamina, that's right. Book of Gore is going to carry me. The main character and his partner try to get revenge on their corrupt boss. The character doesn't need to be a movie critic to realize a screenplay is full of cliches and far-fetched twists, but hey, it's an action flick, right? The opening scene is an action-packed, quote-unquote, to quote the screenplay, raid on a Yakuza hideout. The company rented a decrepit lot outside the town. The character is going to be one of the nameless Gong members. I almost did a thing. I shouldn't have done it. Opening sequence, Part 1. The principal actors take the scene, Kokoro-san himself in the spotlight, the assistant director filling in the director's chairs. Kokoro's character, an honest cop Kurata, discusses the plan of attack with his partner, unaware that corrupt lieutenant set them up. Follow the script. While the other one, a B-movie veteran, chews the scenery, Kokoro seems to be barely acting at all, instead reciting his lines in a monotone. Meanwhile, the character and the other bit players are getting ushered inside the hideout. Armed with prop guns and temporary tattoos, the character is instructed to run out of the house to be mowed down by the heroes. Action! Ad-lib a one-liner because we have charisma, right? Nope, because we rolled 12. Police? More like a police? The character stutters before mimicking shooting the prop gun. Pew pew! Cut! The assistant director interrupts the take. What was that? No, it was great, Kokoro-san waves him off. We need that kind of wit. The audience will love it. We're leaving it in. Keep rolling. 5 experience. So yeah, the flip side here, as I kind of spoil a little bit, is that you want to actually fail these checks, funny enough, because the reverse happens, which is fun. As we go to part 3 of the opening sequence, as all the thugs get taken care of, camera switches to Kurata's partner, rolling on the ground, clutching at his gut. I got shot! Okay, cut. Good work, everyone. I guess next we're gonna... No, I really got shot! The actor follows up with a few select words that couldn't make it into the script without pushing the movie's rating. The camera operator runs to his help, while the assistant director, pale, screams at someone to call an ambulance. Kokoro-san seems overwhelmed. Look for a culprit? Hey, we get to Lower Doom, I think. I didn't even look at Doom. Applying Occam's razor, the character reaches the conclusion that the shot was an accident. Most of the cast were using props, but for the sake of close-ups, a few were armed with real guns loaded with blanks. Going back through the sequence of camera takes, he identifies the still-smoking gun in the hands of one of the extras as the most likely source. It gets taken away as evidence. With the wounded taken away to the hospital for observation, most of the production crew seem to be in low spirits. Some voice their disappointment about the quality of the movie so far, though obviously not to Kokoro-san's face. According to the plan, the next few scenes are interior shots, so time to go back to town, the character thinks, with 2 stamina remaining. Are you sure we didn't get shot as we run to Tsuta-chan and proceed to just run away? I could fight this, but let's not risk too many. Oh, I could risk energies. But anyway, back in the rented studio, Kokoro-san hands out the updated copies of the script, fresh out of the printer, to accommodate his co-lead's injury. And into this alleyway we go. There's still some time left before the crew sets up the scenography and lights. Looks like a good moment to proceed with the investigation. Things clearly don't add up about the production, and the injury on the very first day of shooting is a bad omen. Read the full script. The character finally has time to look a closer look at the script as I see my reason drop. The plot keeps throwing curveballs. Action, romance, social commentary. The villain switches jobs multiple times just to mess with the hero. There are numerous full-length songs and a full-act rendition of Macbeth thrown in between the scenes. Ridiculous, but oddly compelling in its raw unpredictability as we gain 15 experience. The break's over and the set is ready. The wounded actor arrives back from the hospital, apparently released with only stitches, though he won't be doing any stunts soon. Just in time for the next scene, downtown, high threat level in this building. Per the screenplay and this musical number, part 1, in a separate take, the corrupt lieutenant is revealed to moonlight as a Yakuza underboss. Meanwhile, after losing their badges, 2 ex-cops drown their sorrows at a dive bar, consoled by Kurata's new love interest, who reminds him of his dead twin sister. Kurata's partner, a method actor, gets sloshed immediately. Kokoro-san recites his lines, consisting mostly of contrived metaphors, with a delivery that would make a lumberjack salivate, forcing other actors to overcompensate with performance belonging on a large sandwich. Meanwhile, perplexed, the character double scripts his copy of the script. His name is penciled in as backup dancer number 3. Start dancing! A group of patrons come up to the group and ask Kurata to sing. After a short exchange of, just not as eager encouragements and refusals, he shimmies his jimmies up on the stage, picks up a mic, and bursts into an enka song. The character and backup dancers 1, 2, and 4 sway behind awkwardly. Support the singer? Whoops. The character decides the song could use a backup chorus, though considering Kokoro's vocals, switching to fully instrumental could work too. The character vocalizes softly in the background in the successful charisma check, trying to match the beat. Cut! Kokoro-san steps away from the mic. I can't focus on my lyrics when there's another voice singing. Another take and more doom. 84% doom. After several verses displaying Kokoro-san's vocal abilities and the vocal in the BGM, the song gets interrupted by the arrival of the villain's underlings. They proceed to harass Kurata's girlfriend, drawing his ire in internal fire. The character mixes with the other extras to create a background crowd for a lively bar fight. But lively. A thick fog starts filling the set. The fight choreography is questionable at best. Kurata slapping the goons who oversell the hits comically, but with light rays piercing the smoke and reflecting through beer bottles on the counter, for a moment the scene looks quite captivating, maybe even artistic, and then the smoke makes the character's eyes tear up. Cut! We can't see anything. Turn the fog machine down a bit, the assistant director calls out. Fog machine? We don't have any fog machine, the character hears, and then, after a brief moment, fire! Chaos! Well, look for the source of the fire. Nope, we get burned for our trouble, and lose stamina. Wait, burns? Yeah, burns. Perception check failure, by the way, nice 10 roll. While the rest of the cast try to find their way out, the character instead looks for the source of the fire. Losing orientation, he eventually stumbles upon a small set of wall drapes covered in flames. He pulls them down trying to douse them, but the fire is already spread and, arms get burned. The blazing heat forces him to turn around and run. So we visit the school nurse. No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. We visit the doctor's office in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, we get a discharge summary. But we don't, so moving on. We're actually going to visit the monument quickly. Just in case. 3 stamina. Hey, that's what Book of Gore is for. Infected wound, but we have to, because otherwise we die. Thankfully, there are no other casualties as the character gets back from the monument, though there are multiple injuries caused by the chaotic evacuation. It seems that the fire is caused by improper wiring. At the hospital, the fire brigade chief tears Kokoro-san a new one, while the crew keep shifting the blame onto each other and the song Inferno. The studio was spared the worst, and most of the equipment is salvageable, but the set is unstable for now, as the fire force do their work. And we become out of funds. But hey, we have the reason. We have the power. Without the set, though, the shooting plan gets amended again. In the next scene, Kurata's love interest reveals she used to be a part of a demonic cult. This revelation is followed by a flashback sequence to the cult's ritual. The character can only scratch his head at the plot development, which seems almost ludicrous. Costumes. For the first time since the character's seen him, Kokoro-san seems genuinely excited. This is a pivotal moment for Kurata. It really gets him on the road to revenge. It has to be perfect, or the rest of the picture will fall flat, and the audience, capital, won't buy it. Now put on your costumes. We don't have any facilities where we're going next. The character dons a ritual robe, which we don't have anything on slot C, so we might as well equip it. Still smelling of ash and smoke. It's carefully embroidered adornments and silky fabric stand in contrast to other cheap props and must have eaten quite a piece of the budget. Next to the character, others fidget nervously with their sets of cultist casual, quote-unquote. It seems every single extra was called in. Kokoro-san is firing on all cylinders. And he instructs the crew as they transfer studio equipment and props to the already crowded minivans. The character ends up squeezed in the seat between other bit actors, sweating in heavy robes before the van finally departs into this low threat level forest and the stream. The production company scouted an old ruined temple in the middle of the forest. The dirt road that the character took doesn't quite reach it, so they'll have to make the last part on foot. Actors, now a procession of hooded figures, are already annoyed, but the crew hauling the heavy equipment is on the verge of mutiny. Still, Kokoro-san pushes forward, and we have none of these, so we follow the script. Doing so, eventually making it to a temple, but it takes much longer than it should, judging by the distance. Also, the character's pretty sure that they've passed the same tree at least twice, as doom increases by 3. And I forgot my second encounter. It's already dark when the character arrives at a small abandoned temple. Kokoro-san supervises the crew closely, wasting no time as they set up the scene. The character is going to play one of the cult members participating in a sacrifice ritual. In this flashback sequence, the character takes his designated spot close to the altar, holding a lit candlestick in his clasped hands. The camera rolls, Kokoro-san in the director's seat for the first time today, his character not a part of the scene. You can always add some voiceover in post. Action! The main villain, now in the garb of a cult leader but still wearing his signature sunglasses, stands behind the altar, rethinking his career choices. The character looks at the script, not recognizing the foreign phrases covering the page. Were they added in one of the numerous updates? I think this is Arcane Grass, ? As we interpret the words, though the spelling seems horribly mangled, the character recognizes verses of a complex communication spell. This is odd. The amount of effort put into research is out of character for Kokoro-san. The character decides to stay quiet while the others struggle to chant. And this is the crash. Ah! I'll see you in the next part, but I should show you. So this is an event custom trigger, unable to convert string to number, and that should tell you all that you need to know. And I will, I might as well put it on screen regardless. So you know what? I will put it on screen, but yeah, that'll be the end of this because I can't really do much about a crash. This will end the game prematurely, so as I show you this, please subscribe to the channel if you like this video at all and want to support me at any length. Otherwise, I'll throw this error on screen, and I'll thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Future Jordan has a lot to do. Bye!